Now I'm going to show you how you can batch rename your files to help you to find your files quickly and easily. Notice that these images are called Guitar 2, Guitar 1, Guitar 7, whatever they may be. I'm going to select this first image, the one we rejected called Guitar 2, and I'm going to shift click several of the other guitar files. You can choose whichever ones you want. I'm going up to Tools and choosing Batch Rename. Now I could have also right-clicked to select Batch Rename. At this point I can rename the files in the same folder or rename them and move them to another folder and even to copy them to another folder. Now the file name is pretty simple. I can come in here and choose that I want to change the text of the file name. I'll change this to Hall of Fame, and I also want a sequence number on the end of this. Notice the controls I have in this Batch Rename dialog box. I can subtract information if I just want them all called Hall of Fame, which would be really kind of crazy because they'd overwrite each other. Or I can click on the plus sign and say, in addition to that text, I also want a sequence number, and go ahead and make it a 2-digit sequence number, and we'll start with 01. Now, of course, I can add additional information if I want. I think this is going to be just fine. Down at the bottom, I am given a preview of what the file name will be called, and when I click on Rename, of course, those files will be renamed. Now, the great thing about this is that you can select all and do an entire folder at once to make it really speedy and get rid of that long digital name that you might have off your camera and make the name more logical when you're trying to find the files. Now, moving on, I need to show somebody all these files. I'm going to select all. I'm going up to the top where you can see that I've been in the Essentials view. I can choose Film Strip, Metadata, or even Output. When I choose Output, there are a whole bunch of choices here that I can take. I'm going to just choose that I want to create a PDF. And my PDF, I'm going to create a 4x5 contact sheet. Now, I can refresh my preview and I'll actually see what my PDF is going to look like in this preview window. Okay, that's perfect. I've got the name, I've got the thumbnail image, but perhaps my page preset is a little bit off. I'm going to use US paper. I can change the size if I want. I can change the quality of the images, high quality, low quality. Remember that this is only to be used as a preview, perhaps for somebody to look at and say, yeah, you know what? I really like this picture. Let's use that. I can refresh the preview if I've made any changes. You'll notice that in the document panel that I can also add a password because in the end, the result is that I'm creating a PDF. I can change how many columns I want. So perhaps I want my thumbnails to be a little larger. I can change this to 3. I can change my rows to being 4. And again, all I need to do is click on Refresh Preview to see how my PDF is going to look. There we go. Now they're a little larger. And of course, if you have hundreds of images, just consider that this is only a preview of how your first page is going to look. When you actually export these as a PDF, the pages needed will be produced. So you might have 6 pages created, or 7 or 10 or 50 pages created of contact sheets when you're all said and done. I'm scrolling down. You'll notice that I can go through a whole bunch of different features that relate to slideshows, which I'm not doing right now. But at the very end, I can do a couple things. One is that I can put watermark text over my images if it's important to me. I can choose whether that watermark is in the foreground or the background. And if you do choose a watermark for the foreground, it'll appear in front of your images. In the background, it will appear behind your images on your page. Notice that I can view my PDF after I save, and when I click Save, I'm actually saving my contact sheet. And I'll just go ahead and put that in my computer so that I can access this at a later point. And I'm going to say, no, we don't need to go into full screen mode for this. But here's my finished contact sheet. So hopefully you have found some features that will help you to organize your files more easily and find them and locate them more quickly using Adobe Bridge.